we're here obviously at the press conference for St George Groves against Chris Eubank Jr. I'm here with George Groves. George, great to see you again.
Yeah, great to see you too.
Just tried to crack a joke before, but it didn't quite work. It doesn't always happen. But George, the press conference was very interesting because your opponent, Chris Eubank Jr., seemed incredibly confident. How does that make you feel? I mean, does it make you more confident? Does it make you a little bit more nervy? Or does it just make you that more hungry to show him what you're made of?
It wasn't a surprise for him to come in confident. I thought he would be, even if he had to psych himself up for it. He seemed quite animated today, much more hyped than usual. Usually he's pretty well reserved, cards close to his chest, that sort of thing. But today he was happy, he was excited, he was looking forward to engaging. I don't think he made any valid points, but it hasn't really changed my outlook on the fight. I'm supremely confident that I'll dispatch with Junior in good style, in good time, and so things might change along the way for him, but right now, as I intended it to be.
Well, it's interesting because his trainer, or maybe I shouldn't say trainer after what they were saying during the press conference, was saying that Chris Eubank Jr. could fight at light heavyweight. I mean, he's come from middleweight, now he's a super middleweight. You're the bigger guy. Do you think that's going to make a difference in this fight?
Yeah, of course, yeah. I mean, size is always going to make a difference, I'm not a big, slow, ponderous super middleweight. I'm a fast, lively, hard-punching super middleweight. And even if he was the same, he's a middleweight, so I have an added advantage there. I'm taller than him, I have longer range than him, I have better boxing ability, I believe, and sure, he's fit, he's hungry, he's confident, but that's not enough. That really isn't enough at the highest level, because I've got loads of mates who are really fit, try really hard at football, but they're never going to play in the Premiership, And now he's at the top level. He's done so well so far, beating the guys that are in front of him, but they haven't been at this standard. He's never been involved in a mega fight like this. He's on a steep learning curve with no help, as you say. Like he's got the trainer has proclaimed himself redundant. He says there's nothing I can teach him. He knows more than the trainers. The dad just jostles in and out at times with some words of wisdom. It's up to Junior to decide whether they are wisdom or not. But so far, so good.
Well, I've got to correct you with one thing. Your mate could probably get a trial at Chelsea, but maybe any other Premier League side, perhaps not. But in all seriousness, you're going into this fight, you're fighting a middleweight, super middleweight. Chris Eubank Jr., one of the things that many of his critics have said is that he hasn't got punch power, or concussive punch power. Do you think his punch power will be better now he's fighting at super middleweight, or you think there'll be little difference?
Well, he should punch harder if he's heavier. Sometimes guys go up a division, they punch harder, but they become slower. Their work rate decreases. He's not gonna swell after a weigh, and he weighs 12 stone now already, or thereabouts. So I'd imagine that he punches a little bit harder than he did at middleweight. But again, he's got to this level. You're not going to give a guy like that 3 shots, of course not. But he's got to find a target. I don't think he's certainly not a one-punch concussive puncher where anything that goes through is going to put you away. He's got to learn to set up shots. You know what I mean? He's had opposition that stands still and give him a static target, and that's what he's relying on with me. He believes that I'm going to stand still and give him a static target that he can punch at and just keep punching and hope that he puts me away. I'll go out on a limb here, and people might scratch their head and say I'm a better inside fighter than Eubank Jr. If we both sit in the pocket, I'll be able to pick the shots better than he will. Of course, he has more volume than I do. He throws more combinations than I do. I'm a single punch counter puncher, and let my hands go into ones, twos, and threes, and that's it. Then I readjust and then hit him again. Whereas he's happy to just keep punching as long as the target's there, or even if it's not, just keep punching. But that shows a novice element to his boxing, I believe. Makes him dangerous, but it's novice-y.
Well, just one last question. I mean, obviously this is a semi-final. Many people have said this should be the final. Obviously you can't fix the draw, as they say. I guess at the end of this, like I said to Junior, this is an exciting division. I mean, you've got one guy who you've beaten before who's not even in this tournament, James DeGale. He can go back to middleweight and fight people like Billy Joe Saunders and Triple G. Have you got your eye? I know you're going to say you're very focused on the next fight. There's some exciting fights out there for you still, aren't there?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, I need to win this tournament. I'm not interested in anything past it. If Junior makes enough of a sing and dance and gets beat by me, which I'm sure he will, there might be some other big fights out there for him because his profile is high. But for me right now, there's nothing apart from the tournament. I have to win the tournament and then assess. That'll be that. You know, that is my future. That's the way I'm sort of approaching this, and I couldn't ask for anything more. I couldn't be more happier to be involved in this tournament. So next step is Junior. So that'll be that.
Well, I think it's going to be a great fight. I'm really looking forward to it, George. It's really good to see you, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.